Welcome back to another video. I cannot believe it's December. I am kind of having a little bit of a freak out, but that's okay. Welcome to another video. Today's video is another wrap-up video. As you know, I've been doing a lot of readathons this month, or this past month in November, and one of them, as you might tell from my shirt, is the Get a Clue Read-A-Thon, which is created by Rainy from Rainy Blue Reads. And if you haven't followed her, you need to go follow her. She's put in so much effort for this readathon. It's been amazing. I've had the best time with the best people. All the hosts are beautiful people and they're all linked down below as well, so go give them a follow and some love. Today's video is to wrap up the chaos that was this readathon. There was a lot going on. I know I posted my chaos video, so I'm going to leave out those books that I read as I've already talked about them, but I'm going to go through all 9 rooms that we as a mustard team went through in this order, and what I read for them, any bonus books I read, what the prompt was, what the room was, all that jazz. So that's what today is. It's going to be kind of all over the place. Doing this has made me realize that I read 3 physical books on my shelves out of like 20 books or something. I don't know. How has that happened? I don't know, but it's okay. We're fine. We're all fine. We'll start with room 1, and for this one, Mustard started in the billiard room, and for this one we had to read a book with a sport in it or something to do with sport, and for this, unfortunately, I chose Pucking Around, and I did not enjoy this one. It was way too long for me. I know a lot of people love this like series, companion series, but it just wasn't for me. I know Neva is very upset with me about this, but yeah, I liked the characters individually and also together, but it was just like too much. It was a polyamorous relationship and that aspect was amazing. It's just that the plot was there in the beginning and then it just slowly started to just get longer and longer and longer when it just didn't need to be. So for this one, if it was like 300 pages, it would have been like a 4-star for me, but because it was like 800 pages, I think I ended up giving it maybe 3 stars because I did enjoy it. I just was really wanting it to end the entire time. Like at least halfway through I was like, this should be over by now. I did enjoy it. The writing was good. Some things in there, like smutty scenes, were a bit much for me, and that's saying a lot if I must say, but yeah, did not enjoy most of it, and just I'm glad it's over. Let me just say that. It should not have been the first book I picked up for this readathon, as I did not realize it was 800 pages. Not a good start to a month of trying to read lots and lots of books. Room 2, we moved to the library, and this had to be a TV show or movie adaptation, like book to movie or TV show. And for this one, I chose One of Us is Lying, and I had been seeing this like everywhere. It was between that and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I do read later, spoiler alert. But this one I have been really wanting to read, as like so many people have really raved about it, and I'm really glad that I did. I listened to it on audiobook and I am really loving listening to mysteries and like not thrillers but mostly mysteries on audio, as it kind of just like has that extra bit of suspense and you really get all different like perspectives, especially when it's like a full cast of people. And I really enjoyed this one. I loved the reveals. I kind of didn't know who and what was happening until right at the end. Like, I enjoyed that. Like I'm really like being in suspense and not knowing, like being shocked at multiple points throughout the book, not just like one big shocking reveal. So that was really good and I really enjoyed the writing. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars. It just didn't have like that 5-star factor about it, but I still really enjoyed it. Also, I should say that for this room we had a challenge as we came last in the other room, and this is going to be a very continuous trend you shall see. 14 Mustard coming in last place, but it's okay, we like to struggle, it's all good. This book had to be 400 pages, which One of Us is Lying was, so that was very good. Next was The Conservatory, and for this one it had to be a book with non-human characters in it. Because we also came last in the previous room, we had to read from an author we either didn't like before or never thought we'd read from. And for this one I chose Assistant to the Villain, as I'd like never heard of this author before, so I'd obviously never planned on reading from them. But I am so glad I picked this up. It is going to be one of my favourite books of the year. I really enjoyed it. What initially got me into reading this was that, first of all, the title kind of gives away that it's got a little hint at The Office, assistant to the regional manager. It had really great humour in it, and you could definitely see why people compared it to The Office meets Once Upon a Time. I really enjoyed how it wasn't a lot of world building, it was kind of just a little bit of urban fantasy, and you're expected to kind of just go with the flow, get with the program, really get with the magical system, and just not question anything. And yeah, I just enjoyed the relationship, the tension, the dialogue between these two was so funny, and I just enjoyed their interactions together. Okay, slight change in plan. You probably can see me way better and in way higher definition now because I had to get Owen's phone because my phone kept running out of storage and I was getting the actual shits. But anyway, let's keep going. Loved Assistant to the Villain. Their relationship was everything, their characters were everything, separate and together. I was obsessed with them, and I'm so glad I read it. Definitely going on the favourites for this year. Room 4 was The Lounge, and this was finally a room we didn't come last in the previous one, so we didn't have a challenge, but it was a secret passageway. So this one, this one really scared me because it was all the letters of your first name. So that was scary because my name is 8 letters long. So I was immediately going to be like, what the hell am I going to read that is going to have 8 letters in it that I own or am going to find on Libby or whatever. And it also had to be a 5-star prediction because of the secret passageway. I picked The Unhoneymooners, and I am so happy I picked this up. This is another favourite for the year. I cannot believe it had, first of all the letters in my name on the cover, which was just great. I thought I was going to have to use my middle name for sure. It also Krystal's host favourite, so it got extra points for the team. Not that it really matters because we sucked, but it's okay, we had fun. But I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. It gave me Just Go With It vibes. I love that movie so much. It was my absolute favourite, and just the dynamic of them having to go on this holiday, and for one person, like they had to fake it to begin with, like fake dating or like fake marriage kind of thing, and then they kind of get caught up in this lie, and then one person is caught up in it, and then they make the other person get caught up in it, and they both have to rely on each other for this lie, and it's kind of like what's real and what isn't, and just reminds me of Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, my favourite movie. But yeah, I just had the best time reading that. Really great audiobook, and it was a lot of fun. The only thing that I didn't really like about this, which is really personal preference, but it was very closed door romance, which I wasn't expecting, and the lead up to it was really making me expect it wasn't going to be that, but it did. So that's the only reason that I wasn't like obsessed with it, but I still gave it 5 stars because I feel like that's not enough of a reason to not give a book 5 stars, especially when I definitely have enough smut to read elsewhere. Like, I think it's okay to have a little bit of a break. Room 5, we also didn't have a challenge. We're going super strong on this one. It was The Hall, and for this it had to have multiple POVs or dual perspective. And for this I chose Christmas Cupid, which was the cutest Kindle Unlimited romance that I found. Just magically found. It was perfect. It just came to me, and I'm glad it did. I'm gonna be reading this every Christmas. I'm obsessed with it. Very cute story about how basically this girl's brother sets her up with his teammate who they play NHL together, and they get stuck, well, they are stuck physically in a snowstorm, so they have to stay in this house together over Christmas, and neither of them want to be there, obviously. And yeah, it's just the cutest thing ever, and I loved it so much. It was so Christmassy and so much fun and just cuteness overload. The next one was The Dining Room, and this was probably one of the hardest books I had to find because it was a book in my birthday month, but also the challenge with the page numbers being divisible by 3, which if you were trying to find a book that's that's published in November and is divisible by 3, I can guarantee you there is a limited amount, because I spent like, I reckon 2 days trying to find something for this book. I could not find anything. And then I realised it was right on my shelf. Icebreaker, a book I have been wanting to read for like ever. And yeah, I'm so happy it was this book. Divisible by 3, published in November. It saved my life, and it was also really, really good. I can't stop raving about it. Everything about this was great. Like, really great. Ugh. I just like want to do one of those silent reviews where I'm just like, this is it. This is it for me. I need to go to college. I need to join the figure skating team, and then for them to have to share with the hockey team everything. And then this is giving me flashbacks. He volunteers to be her figure skating partner because the other guy is like a dick, and he doesn't know how to figure skate, but he plays ice hockey, and oh my gosh. I have nothing else to say about that. Anyway, let's move past that. Room 7 was the Ballroom, and that was to start a new series. And for this one, luckily, another murder mystery kind of book, and it was Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This one was like on my radar the entire readathon. I wanted to read it at some point, and I was glad that it fit this prompt. I didn't realize it was the start of a series until I looked it up and see if it actually fit, which was great that it did. I don't know if I will continue on with this series. I feel like it can't really go any further. It must be like companion or different stories or something. I'm not sure. But I might have a look into that because it was really great. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed the audiobook of this because it had her kind of like speaking into her own like microphone, her phone calls with like the police and different suspects and interviews and all that kind of thing. So it was very multimodal, and I really appreciated her character and the fact that she just had this really strong personality and she wanted to do this, and so many people kept pushing her down and trying to talk her out of doing this, but she just kept persisting, and her interactions with all of the characters just showed what a strong individual she was. And yeah, one of the probably the best young adult female protagonists I've read for a really long time. I really enjoyed reading from her perspective. But yeah, and I enjoyed like the twists and turns, like you didn't really know what was happening until right at the end as well. I really loved that. And yeah, the reveal was really good. I was not expecting either thing that happened. If you know, you know. Roommate was a bit of a funny one for me. It was the kitchen. So something with a book with food on the cover or in it, or just foodish. I really struggled with this. I ended up picking Grady Hendrix's Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. My first Grady Hendrix. Not sure if I should have picked this for the food option. Definitely not something you want to be reading whilst eating, let me just say that. I don't know how I felt about this. I still need to like think about it because it was a lot and I just didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't read the back. It was like, oh, I should mention, this book also had to be 51% black on the cover because of another challenge, because we failed the last one too. So that was also really challenging to find. 51% black cover book with food on it or to do with food. So luckily this one had peaches on it and was like all black. I listened to this one, really enjoyed the southern accents of this audiobook. Hello, editing messy Brooklyn here. I wanted to talk about the Southern Book Club's guide to slaying vampires, as I didn't really touch on what I thought of it because I needed a minute to really think about how I felt about the book, and I actually ended up really enjoying it. I think the second half of the book was way more interesting and fast-paced to me, and I was really intrigued and on edge the whole time. I really enjoyed the kind of hysteria and the fact that these women were constantly being, I didn't like this, but being put down by these men and told to like not think these things, and that they were ruining everyone's lives by thinking these things. And it really does reflect that kind of hysteria that happens, like the witch trials and that kind of thing. It just reminded me of that, kind of giving the Crucible vibes, where everyone hates everyone and people think they're going crazy because they're thinking something. It definitely wasn't the vampire book I was expecting, but nonetheless, I did enjoy it, and I actually want to try more of Grady Hendrix's books because I wasn't expecting that kind of vibe at all, and I didn't realize it was kind of like horror. I didn't really know what it was going to be. I thought it was just like general fiction, but it definitely had a horror element, and it was very gory at times. Gave me a little bit of Stephen King vibes, but yeah, I ended up really enjoying it, and I'm really glad that I read it. Just probably not a great pick for the food prompt, but nonetheless, I really did enjoy it. I think I gave it 4 stars. This room is the study, and this had to be a school setting, and we didn't come last in this one, but it was a secret passage room, so this had to be based on the rating of the previous book you read, and so I haven't really rated it yet. I have chosen Bunny. I actually haven't started reading this yet because it's still the 30th of November, so I'm planning to read this today. I don't think I'm going to finish it, but I still have one more day, and technically I kind of have 2 days if we're counting American time. So I go into December a lot earlier than everyone else, but yeah, we'll see. I definitely didn't think I was ever going to pick this book up because it just didn't seem like something I would enjoy, but after hearing all of my friends talk about it, it's something that I think I actually will enjoy. So yeah, I'm gonna try this one out, and it fits the prompt because it's set at a university, so it is a school setting. For the bonus books that I just read randomly throughout the month, I was trying to get them to fit prompts and they didn't, but that's okay. The first one, I read half of this in the month of November, so during the Read-A-Thon. Hunting Adeline, I'm going to release a vlog of me reading both of the Cat and Mouse duet books. 5 stars. Just watch my vlog. It's a long story, let me tell you. I also picked up Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. I absolutely adored it. It was very cute. My bucket list-a-thon wrap-up video. That's where you'll hear more about this. But because this video is going to be so long, I just, yeah, loved it. 5 stars. Very cute, very Christmassy. Everything you would want from a Christmas romance Tessa Bailey book, let's be honest. The other book I read was The Bodyguard, and this was another really great read. I enjoyed everything about this. It was a yellow cover as well. I didn't expect the woman in this to be the bodyguard, which is quite sexist of me to assume, but it's just not like the bodyguard vibe I was like thinking about. But I'm glad that it wasn't, because this turned out to be really, really cool. Like, nothing I'd read before, honestly, about a woman being the bodyguard of a celebrity man that is very sexy, very cool. Their banter, the fake dating, the fact... The only thing I didn't really like about this was that she had no self-confidence at all in herself, and it took him to come into her life for her to realize that she is like an amazing person, an amazing woman, a beautiful... So that kind of sucks reading about like that kind of thing, but yeah, overall it was really good. I think I gave it 4 stars. But that is all. That is the last time you'll see me in this shirt. Jokes, I'll be wearing it all the time. I love it. It's so comfy. But that is all for the Get a Clue Read-A-Thon. I'm so happy I participated. I will definitely be participating next year. Yeah. I'm just very happy and excited about the previous month. One of the best reading months of my entire life. So yeah, let's do it all again next year. I shall see you in my next video. Bye. Also, welcome to Bookmas. I didn't say that this was a Bookmas video, but it is. My videos are sporadically all over the place, but I am 99% sure this is going up during Bookmas, so happy Bookmas, everyone, and happy Christmas, and happy Hanukkah, happy Thursday, because it's Thursday. Okay, bye. I need to go now. I don't know what I'm doing at this point, do I?